Welcome back. Last time we saw that the now young couple were cautious of the hourglass and didn't know what to expect next, but they both knew if they were together they could do anything. Let's see what happens next. The show resumes with the duo of schoolboys walking near the farm that Grandpa and Grandma own again, this time with the boys looking at cars in a book or magazine of some kind and pointing out how there would not be many import cars due to how much snow they get and how low the cars would be to the ground. They seem to be fond of racing cars of Tokyo like any other boy of their age. Grandma notices the boys playing outside and decides to approach them. She wants to let them know about some spraying that will be happening later in the day. She explains that although the chemicals being used are not dangerous, they might still cause some discomfort. She advises them to find a detour if the spraying bothers them. The boys nod in understanding, grateful for Grandma's concern. Just then, they see Grandpa driving by with a strange machine attached to the back of his truck. Grandma explains that the machine is actually a sprayer used for farming. She adds that these sprayers are quite expensive, so they are often shared among the farmers in the area. This way, everyone can benefit from the latest technology without having to bear the full cost. The boys listen intently, fascinated by the new information. They watch as Grandpa expertly operates the sprayer, covering the fields with a fine mist. They realize that this machine is an important tool for the farmers, helping them grow healthy crops and take care of their land. As the boys continue their playtime, they keep a safe distance from the spraying area, remembering Grandma's warning. The next scene shows Grandpa visiting Shouta and his grandfather at their old storehouse. The building, with its worn wooden beams and dusty windows, has been in the family for generations. Shouta's grandfather, with a determined look, declares that everything inside needs to be thrown away. Shouta is curious and wants to explore, but his grandfather is firm. As they begin cleaning, Shouta stumbles upon a mysterious black box tucked away in a corner. He asks his grandfather about it, but his grandfather's expression turns somber. He requests some time alone to reflect on the past, and Shouta respects his wishes. Stepping outside, Shouta calls the Kitameku Board of Education to inquire about preserving historical items. He's determined to learn more about the black box and why his grandfather is being so secretive. Grandpa joins him, and they wait for Shouta's grandfather to emerge from the storehouse. As the sun begins to set, casting a warm orange glow over the scene, Shouta can't help but wonder what secrets the black box holds. Why is his grandfather so reluctant to discuss it? Grandpa senses his curiosity and offers a reassuring smile. The storehouse, once a symbol of clutter and neglect, now represents a repository of memories and a family's legacy. Shouta, Grandpa, and Shouta's grandfather are about to uncover secrets and stories that will change their understanding of themselves and their family's history. As they prepare to face what's inside the black box, they do so with a newfound appreciation for the stories that shape us and the memories that make us who we are. The scene is one of quiet contemplation, with each character reflecting on the past, present, and future. Later, Shouta's grandpa comes out and states that he is planning on keeping the box and plans to get the storehouse demolished. Grandpa and Shouta have a conversation about Shouta's future, where Shouta reveals he wants to become a professional soccer player, and while wanting to move to Tokyo, he feels like staying here and helping with his grandpa's land. Shouta, overhearing this conversation, ends up canceling the demolition. This was a rather heartwarming, and it develops a bond between Grandpa and Shouta. We then go to Shiori, who has been at the public wing of the university's library to study. She ends up seeing Grandpa while she is there and looks over to see him studying high school textbooks because Grandpa never got to advance in his schooling when he was school age. This ends up giving Shiori the motivation to study, and after her midterms, she even thanks Grandpa, though he does not know the reason why. Meanwhile, Mino is talking to her friends regarding a silver-haired couple, but Mino brushes it off and says that she needs to go home. We next see her with Shouta as they are spending time together studying, and with Shouta listening to what Mino has to say. At one point, he heads to the bathroom, trying to get his mind to not think of this as a date, even though it completely feels like one. After the storehouse visit, Mino excitedly invites her grandparents to her school's culture festival. She's been looking forward to sharing this special event with them. However, they initially decline, mentioning a prior commitment. But when Grandpa double-checks their schedule, he realizes they're free after all. So they change their minds and decide to attend the festival. As they arrive at the festival, Mino is thrilled to show her grandparents around. They enjoy the vibrant atmosphere, exploring the various booths and activities. But suddenly, disaster strikes. A student accidentally spills drinks all over Grandma's clothes. Mino is mortified, but a quick-thinking student comes to the rescue. This student has a friend in the fashion design club and offers to take Grandma there to get a change of clothes. At first, Grandma is hesitant, but the student's kindness puts her at ease. However, things quickly take a turn for the worse. The fashion design students, though well-intentioned, start treating Grandma like a doll. They begin dressing her up in outrageous outfits, complete with accessories and makeup. Grandma, feeling overwhelmed and embarrassed, tries to protest, but they just laugh and continue their creative experimentation. Mino and Grandpa watch in disbelief as Grandma becomes the unintended star of the fashion show. Despite the chaos, they cannot help but laugh at the absurdity of the situation. In the end, Grandma emerges from the fashion design club looking like a completely different person, a bit bewildered but also secretly amused. The family shares a hearty laugh, and the culture festival becomes an unforgettable experience for all of them. Grandpa is eventually let in, however, and we see Grandma in a school uniform, with her greeting Grandpa with mannerisms that she had in the past. The two be together, with Grandpa doing some teasing. After some time, Grandma appears to go back to her usual mannerisms, to Grandpa's relief. Anyway, Grandpa and Grandma visit the maid cafe that's being run by Mino's class, but it's somewhat dead as compared to the customer-wise policy because another class got help from their guardians to make an authentic raiment shop. Looking for a way to get more customers, Grandpa ends up helping out as a butler, attracting elderly women. After a while, Grandpa and Grandma look through a more historical section and find an image that contains people that Grandma recognizes. She makes a comment about how Grandpa would have been in the picture if he advanced, and then seems like she regrets it, but Grandpa points out that his not being in the photo is just proof that he was by her side. Of course, the two end up realizing that they are being recorded and end up leaving casually flustering as Grandpa explains that if they are flirting at school, they should at least find an empty classroom. Both of them walk out awkwardly. We also get to see Shada acting nervous about asking Mino to the bonfire, mainly because Grandma was with her. Grandpa, noticing this, decides that he and Grandma have overstayed their welcome and ends up dragging Grandma home, pointing out that there are times when it's their duty to not watch the kids and to leave them alone. The entire culture festival was fun. As Grandpa drives them home from the culture festival, Grandma cannot help but feel a little upset. She was looking forward to watching Mino perform her dance routine, but the fashion design club adventure took over and she missed it. She tries to hide her disappointment, but Grandpa notices her gloomy expression in the rearview mirror. After they arrive home, Grandma finds herself in the mysterious hourglass dream area once again. This time, she's thinking aloud about how she and Grandpa need to become old again for some important business. She reflects on how much fun she had reliving her school days by wearing the uniform again, but now it's time to return to reality. As she approaches the hourglass, she intends to turn it and restore their true ages. However, in a moment of clumsiness, she accidentally hits one of the pillars supporting the hourglass instead of turning it. She lets out a loud yelp in pain, surprised by her own carelessness. The next morning, Grandpa walks out of his room, yawning lazily, expecting a typical day. But as he enters the living room, he is taken aback by a surprising sight. Grandma is standing near the tile, commenting about strange things, and her hair is now black. Grandpa's confusion deepens as she talks about the TV showing peculiar pictures and the refrigerator keeping food cold without using ice. Grandma seems puzzled herself, mentioning a familiar scent in the air. She approaches the furnace and remarks about having a built-in fire, which perplexes Grandpa even further. He cannot seem to understand why she is talking about these modern conveniences as if they are new and unusual. Grandpa tries to make sense of the situation, wondering if Grandma is dreaming or maybe joking. Her comments about the TV and refrigerator suggest she is experiencing them for the first time, like someone from the past who has suddenly found themselves in the present. As Grandma continues to explore the modern world, she notices the calendar on the wall and gasps in astonishment. According to her, this date is several decades ahead of her time. Her eyes are wide with wonder. Grandpa's confusion deepens as he tries to comprehend what's happening. Grandma then turns her attention to a family picture on the table, and her expression changes from curiosity to shock. Why is she being referred to as a grandma? She asks, her voice trembling. She turns to face Grandpa, who is taken aback by her sudden transformation. Grandma has turned young, with a radiant glow on her face, but her eyes seem empty, devoid of memories. Grandpa's mind races as he tries to process this surreal situation. He cannot understand how his elderly wife has suddenly become a young woman, with no recollection of their life together. As Grandma looks at Grandpa with a confused expression, he tries to speak, but words fail him. Grandma's gaze lingers on Grandpa as if searching for answers, but he can only offer a bewildered stare. The scene hangs in limbo, as if time itself has paused, leaving Grandpa and Grandma suspended in this strange, new reality.